There we are, I'm live. Hello, welcome to Ask Karl G episode 30. And here I am back outside, which is where I like to be. If I can get the light a little bit better. Who knows? For anybody who does or internet's their business and does live broadcast, I'm on StreamYard and I'm trying it on my mobile. So that's new. So if anything's a bit weird, everything seems to be working fine. But this is the first time I've tried StreamYard on my mobile. StreamYard is something that you have to pay for, and it streams your live broadcast automatically to Facebook and to YouTube. So if you're a YouTube user and you want to build your Facebook, it's a way of doing that for no extra effort. And similarly, my audience is mostly on Facebook, and I need to build my YouTube because Facebook is going down the pan. If anybody would like to discuss that, it's turned into a pay-per-view platform as far as trying to promote yourself and your business goes. Anyway, that's besides the point. Just a little quick reference in case anything goes wrong. Good morning to everybody. Hello, how are you? I hope you've got a nice cup of coffee like I have. Bit of bad news this morning. Bloody fox got into the chicken house. We had 10 beautiful little chickie-woos, and now we've got 2 beautiful little chickie-woos. Yeah, so that was upsetting. I actually heard a little squeak when I was in bed this morning, and I thought, oh, that's not right. And I looked out the window and saw this huge old fox trotting across that arena. And I came running down, got the dogs, ran straight round, and no, it was all over. So there we go. That was a bit sad. Means that my broadcast is a little bit late. I've got a duck with a puncture wound that I think is going to be fine. Yeah, so we lost 8 little chickie-woos. So that wasn't a very good start to the morning. Anyway, enough of my problems. Firstly, let's look on the positive. What a beautiful day. Second positive, while I was out looking for chicken bodies, I saw my first snowdrops, which is absolutely wonderful. 2 coming up. It's always so much nice. I don't know if you heard that on the broadcast there. Let me know if the telephone sounds on the broadcast. There we are. It feels so springy. I'd actually set up for my broadcast in the inside studio, and just thought that's ridiculous. So that's another reason why I'm late. I then took it down, found out how to get StreamYard onto my mobile, and here we are. So if I squint, it's because I'm on the mobile. I can't quite read everything. Candice and Maria and Chris, hello, Claudia. Hello. So Claudia's saying from Uruguay, nice. I'm hoping you can all see me and hear me. So today I want to talk about Conor MacGregor, the mixed martial arts fighter, and Charlotte du Jardin. That's who I'm talking about today. Some of you might already be a little bit up with what I'm going to say, because you might have already seen the post on one of those horsey Facebook groups. You know those horsey Facebook groups. And somebody put up a picture of Conor MacGregor, who was in Dubai doing a photo shoot, and he was sat on this horse, and he had nothing but a pair of shorts on, his boxing attire, and he had bare feet. And the little post was like, look, he's so hard that he's even ignoring the little spikes on the treads on the stirrups on his bare feet. No, it was a fine post. The comments underneath obviously got going. The comments underneath were, look at the way he's holding that rein. Look at, why has that horse got a double bridle on? Why hasn't he got a hat on? What sort of example is this to be set to the kids? Why is he such a idiot and worse than that? Look at the way this shouldn't be allowed. What an awful person. You know the thing. He's sitting on a horse, and yes, he's got no hat on, but he is on the beach in deep sand on a trained horse. And in fact, I think I know the people who supplied the horse. In a trained photo shoot horse, doing a photo opportunity, there is nothing wrong. and the slating is just crazy, absolutely crazy. And it particularly got me because I've had some successful posts this week. I did a post with a bunch of horses and carriages going across a very busy bridge, and the point was that don't underestimate what your horses can do. Don't dumb down your horse. Your horses are amazing. They've done amazing things. They can do everything. The comments, hundreds and hundreds of comments, and they soon turned pretty nasty. And from everything, all different ways in which what we just said doesn't apply to the various people. From rider confidence teachers who are saying this isn't the case. And then, of course, I look on their rider confidence teaching and they're offering empathy for frightened riders. In other words, they're frightened. And also describing how my course and courses like mine don't work, of course. We had people saying that it was a bad analogy because back in the day they used to beat their horses and drive them 12 hours, 14 hours a day, which I've got no idea. I've got no idea at all if that's true or not. I suspect it isn't. I suspect that if you drove a horse for 12 hours a day, it wouldn't stay a horse very long. It would break down fairly soon. I might be wrong. That might have been historically what happened. But I have a feeling that was a made-up fact so that this person could dumb down their horse. Yeah, all right. So everybody apart from that person, don't dumb down your horses. That person, there's something wrong with your horse quite clearly, or with you. There we are. So I'd also put up the skeleton horse for a music video that we did. Horse with a skeleton painted on it. And we were literally walking the horse up and down probably less distance than from here to the back wall there. And anyway, we've got loads of jip there, from the toxicity of the paint to the not having hats on to the environment that the horses shouldn't be allowed in. So when I came across this Conor MacGregor post with all its, I mean, thousands of comments, most of which were pretty nasty, I was going down there and I was surprised that the comment by Charlotte du Jardin really stuck out to me, because the comment from Charlotte du Jardin stood out from the rest as not being there. Charlotte du Jardin's comment wasn't there because she hadn't written anything, because she was busy training her horses. So we've got to think, every time someone's got an opinion, I mean, there was nothing wrong with this picture at all, and the vitriol was absolutely amazing. Now, I'm just going to pause a moment, or just divert for a moment, and bear in mind that we are in a pandemic. Everybody's worried. Everybody's worried about money and their businesses and their health and their families. And when we are under attack, our minds respond with under attack responses, such as anger, which makes you stronger than usual, more impervious to pain, or anxiety, which is quite sensible. If you're going through the woods and there's lions and tigers and bears behind every tree and bush, it pays to be quite close to your panic button. And depression, which is another survival strategy, all about saving energy and not thinking positive and running out into the ice age and never being heard from again. So these responses are there for attack, and the pandemic and the lockdown is attacking us. So people will be more inclined to be a little bit angrier than normal, a little bit more short-tempered, and this shows itself on Facebook and these horsey groups, which aren't the most healthiest of environments anyway. So I've come on for 3 reasons. The first reason is to emphasize that it might be a good idea to avoid these horsey groups altogether. Just think about what I said a moment ago. Charlotte du Jardin didn't offer a mean-hearted opinion or even a supportive opinion. She didn't offer any opinion. What she did was go and train her horses. And what a world of difference that would have made to any horse owner. Now, who do you want to align yourself with? Who would you like to be like? When you were first considering getting a horse, were you thinking, oh, I want to be like Amanda Snoodgrass, slagging off some celebrity that I don't know for sitting on a horse and having his photo taken? No, you didn't. You wanted to be, oh, I wanted to be with the Whittakers, and I wanted to be with Fox Pitt, and I wanted to be with Charlotte Jardin, and I wanted to be with Frankie Dettori, and I wanted to be with Pat Pirelli, and I wanted to be all these people who don't comment. So I would strongly recommend going and riding your horse, training your horse, moving on with your thing rather than getting involved in these horsey groups. They don't actually bring much joy to anything. The other point that I wanted to make is when somebody saw our picture of let's say the skeleton horse. Now, we put it on several different social media platforms. I try not to share it. We try to put it on a fresh. And when the first few comments come in, that sets the tone of how it's going to go. So on every other page, another 6 pages, the same post just got, oh, that looks good, or I'd like to do that, or how did you do that, or what paint did you use, or what's this for? And then one post, initially somebody got angry about the hats, then they got angry about Hannah's riding position, then they got angry about whether she was frightened. She was frightened on the horse, you could tell, because she wasn't sitting up and she wasn't putting her legs on the horse, and she looked like she wasn't putting her legs on the horse because it had been painted for a video, and she had to ride it from here to the back wall and not get paint on it. So she was riding with her feet out like that, just absolutely trying not to touch it at all. So she might have looked a bit frightened. But anyway, all these opinions started, and it was just crazy. It got worse and worse and worse. Now, this is why it gets worse and worse and worse, especially on Facebook. If you put something nice on Facebook and wondered why the whole world has suddenly turned nasty towards you, it's because the first few comments come up, and let's say they are negative, and Facebook will find people who talk about horses, who talk about being frightened, who talk about being scared, who talk about use all the words terrible riding, awful position, and they'll find people like that who are using these words throughout their posts over the last few years, and they will show them that video. So you're ever more likely to find people coming onto your post and emphasizing whatever the comments have started off as. And that's why a post can turn so nasty so quickly. And that's what happened to my 2 posts this week, and Conor MacGregor's post. So firstly, you need to be patient, because everybody's a little bit more stressed than they usually are. And whether it's on Facebook, in real life, down the yard, down the shops, at work, a totally different environment, be empathetic that everybody feels as if they're under attack and they may have shorter fuses. That's partly it. The reason why I'm asking you to be empathetic is not for their sakes. Conor MacGregor doesn't care what people have said. It's for you, for your sake. Because who would you rather align yourself with? In the terms of the horse, it was very easy to understand. I would rather align myself with a professional horse person who's simply getting on with training their horses, rather than align myself with all the gossipy, chatty classes. Similarly, at work, in your career, in your relationship, in your self-esteem, would you rather align yourself with someone moving on, making the best out of the situation that we're in, improving ourselves, personal development, making the sensible and correct decisions that we need to make, rather than getting involved in all the little spats and fights that happen either in real life or through the internet. There we go. There we go. Don't get on the pages. If you do get on the pages, don't get involved. Okay, that's food for thought. There's no conclusion to this post. It's just the way that it is. I'm not going to get straight back to your comments. Thank you very much for it. I can see the comments coming on, but because I'm on the phone, it's so small that I can't see them. So what I'll do is I'll go and have a little look. If you've got any questions, any comments, any way you'd like to bring up a point to be discussed in the future, just stick it in the comments there and we'll get to that. I hope you found this interesting. Thanks for listening. Thanks for listening. Thanks for coming. Sorry I can't get back to your comments live. I hadn't thought about that when it was such a tiny phone. Speak to you later.